Bang, we're live, right? So, Sil, Namsu, I didn't upload the thing last night because, as you saw, I was tired. I went to sleep. But
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't. I gotta move this. So the game plan here, Sil, is everything I can think of that is going to be valuable to somebody. And so when we build this out of a network marketing system, the thing is we know Namsu directly, right? Hold on, let me put this in here. Let me do this. Just give me 1 second, y'all, because my brain want to say a lot, but April 29th. Where the fuck? Hold on. Bringing up April 29th. Did I not send it over? I feel like I'm tripping. Give me a second. Oh, April 27th is the day. That's why I couldn't see it. All right, hold on. April 27th. So write this down. Both of y'all, if you can. The goal for building a network marketing business, right?
Yeah,
Is to get a large group of people
exactly.
to do a simple activity
Yeah,
over a consistent period of time,
person. Yeah.
right? So that's like your business agenda.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. So okay. So Basil, we know
Yeah.
Namsu directly, right?
Right.
So Namsu would be considered your first level, right? A direct contact. So how we're going to put people in the system because of what we're going to do with the comp plan for Tradera is not relevant right now. This is the energy of network marketing, right? So when Namsu talks to somebody directly, they'll become his first level, right? But you're second level, okay?
Yeah.
So now the goal of a strong network marketing organization is whatever you're doing right now, Basil, somebody else 10 levels deep that you'll never meet directly, right? You have to go find them and help them another kind of way, but it's designed for the person that is going to be down the line to be able to do the same thing and have the same result you have, right? Where, like you said in your interview, the only thing that be in their way is their own mental processes, right?
Yeah.
Belief systems or things that go with that. Frank. Let's send this over. Hold on. Next. Not for kids. Next. 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 So when I built inside of network marketing, this process of using YouTube and Facebook Messenger the way that y'all can wasn't available. So this is a whole from a good perspective for y'all, right? So what I'm doing is every time it's something worth talking about, we're recording it, putting it into place for anybody in our group to benefit from it the same way we did during the moment we were doing it.
Okay.
So Nomsu, all these videos that's going to be on this YouTube page, what I would do if I was you is I would watch them, take notes on them, and then that way when you're talking to somebody else and they ask a question, you can look back to what video talks about that and send them to that video. That'd be the best way I could tell you to kind of do, right?
Actually.
Right. So, but that's the marketing side. So everything. So 4 months from now, still, I won't need to make a bunch of videos because we already made them.
Right.
And then people can just go look at them, and then they can build it as big as they want to. You want to have a person where Nomsu can come in, and because he wants to work it harder than you, he can come in and go right by you, and he got all the tools to do it. You know what I'm saying? So now for you, Nomsu, we talked about 3 pairs last night. Let me see if I can move this out the way now. Minimize that. We talked about 3 pairs last night, right?
Yes.
You remember what they were?
Yeah, we talk about USD Swiss francs, USD CHF,
right?
And we also talk about Euro USD.
No, we was at the Euro CAD. It wasn't the Euro.
Okay. Okay, GBP USD, right?
Yeah. Pound, the pound, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was the Great British Pound USD that was supposed to be a sell, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the Euro CAD that was supposed to be a sell, and it was the dollar Swiss franc that was supposed to be a buy. Is that what you remember, right?
Yeah, I remember this.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we was on the same page. So I'm going to actually switch our screen so that these numbers are bigger. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Put this back over here. All right, so you are now still last night, right? Me and Nomsu talking, and we're using specifically the stuff for the 20 pips and dip. So nothing else that I showed you when me and you trading.
Right.
I didn't put any of that into the equation. So what we were doing was, so I look at so it's 28 pairs. There's a bunch of them more, but out of the 8 major currencies, there's right about 28 pairs that you can choose from. I normally keep my eye on about 10 of them. So to be more comfortable with who I already am as a trader, I chose not to try to look at all 28. So I'm looking at my 10, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I'm using their strategy or the strategy. So we were eliminating out of the 10. So we started at 1 o'clock, getting ready for the Frankfurt, which is at 2. And of course the London opened at 3, but we ain't wait that long, right?
Right.
So we're looking at certain stuff, and based on what Coach Max. Okay, so the way Coach Max teaches it, we're looking at the charts, and we're like, that one like is going to hit it by 2 o'clock, right? Because all of them are. So trading is being right, but being right at a specific moment in time, which is when you click the button. You can actually see something and click the button too early, and it doesn't develop. You gotta wait for it to develop, or too late and it is irrelevant, right? So we're looking for what's going to be what we needed to be coming at 2 o'clock, which is the open of the Frankfurt. That was our test for last night, right? So we wasn't trying to force anything. We were only looking to see what matched at that moment of time, right? So right here is the start of the Frankfurt. Hold on. So out of the 10 currencies, out of the 10 pairs, I'm sorry, 3 look like they could be okay. None of them was perfect, which is why we ended up not taking any trade because I didn't want to make it about what I saw, but the process. So we were looking for a buy, right? Which is for the chart to go up. And this was the moment in time that would have been the time to hit to click the button. That was our thing, right? So
Yeah.
the entry price Basil would have been 0.97213. All right.
Okay.
So a pip is the second spot from the right. So just that's because not that just that way. The second spot from the right, which is the 1. So 20 pips is the 2. So what I'm gonna do here, so now I'm saying this is what happened since we've been going. So I want to mark where our 20 pips is at, okay?
Okay.
Hold on. So it's going to be 97413. I'm gonna do that because that could get crazy, right? So, it actually hits it right here, right? You see that cell?
Yes.
So I'm gonna put another mark here because it would have took us out of the trade right here. So that's 6 hours of being in the market, and at some point, which me and Nomsu saw, it went against you for a little while. So you would have looked at it was negative, but you wouldn't have got out the trade. And this is where your risk management is important, right? Because if you have so hold on, what is this? So I'm gonna put one here too, okay?
Okay.
So we can just see what that price thing is. So from here to here is 10 pips. So if you'd have had a 10 pip stop loss, it would have took you out, right? So you know how we set that we're about to trade 1% of our margin? Remember we did the Joan?
Yes.
The 1% of our margin is so we got room that if it go against us for a while, we won't get something called a margin call. So we can stand for it to go against us so it got time to go for us, right? So our take profits are not going, our stop losses are going to be nowhere near price. That's why we only bet 1%. So we got room for all of the negative movement. So we don't got to be right away.
Right.
That's that part. The banker, right? So you remember I told you about consumer, producer, and banker, right?
Right.
Okay, consumer isn't in this game at all. They're at work. This isn't, this scares them, okay? So now we're talking about a producer mindset or a banker mindset. A producer's mindset, they're trying to focus more on how much they can gain. And they accept the risk that comes with it, right?
Yeah.
The banker, he wants to mitigate any possibility of loss, and then whatever gain he can make, he'll take it. So they think 180 degrees away from each other. So a producer suffers from something called FOMO, right? It stands for fear of missing out. It's actually a term inside trading. Like when you start studying, you'll hear it along the lines when you read FOMO, fear of missing out. So that's why some people press the button prematurely because they don't want to miss the trade. That's just, it's not bad, but it speaks to a producer's mindset. So a producer, I was talking to somebody and they looked at the trades we made, right? And the trade was 0.01 lots, right? Matter of fact, hold on. Just been recording. Hold on 1 second, gentlemen. 1 second. So somebody I knew was looking at this, right?
Right.
Hold on. Is that clear, or should I try to make it a little bigger?
I can see that clear.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
So I'm talking to somebody, and I showed them what I did. This was April the 23rd, right?
Right.
And so they see all of the work, they see all of the pips, but what they locked in on is that my quantity was 0.01, that I was betting 10 cents a pip, right? They saying, well, since you knew how to trade, why do you make the thing bigger right away? That's a producer's mindset, which again is great, but I'm a banker. So what I told them was, the first thing is proof of concept. So this is the safest trade you can take at a live account. It's the smallest position you can take and not be in demo. So I'm explaining to him that we want to make sure that the people we're working with can see it from a safety perspective, and then they can add on the trades later. Where what I want to do is make sure that first, that's your account, that we're as safe as possible. Mitigating risk is what it's called, and then we'll add to the trades as we already mitigated our risk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in our in our trading account, the one that you about to fund, so we can journal this process, we're going to start at 0.1% of our margin, and we're never going to increase the bet's going to get bigger, right?
Right.
Because we're going to compound, but the risk remains the same because we're only betting 1% of our margin. And so where we probably can get to whatever number we're going to get to faster by betting bigger, we're going to choose not to and keep our risk as small as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're walking into this game not trying to run to get the money. We're coming in as bankers, and we're going to take from the market what's ours.
Got it.
Does that translate good, Nomsu?
Yeah.
So yesterday, when you asked me was I going to take a trade, the reason why we didn't is because none of them actually met the criteria. But I told you what I thought they were going to do, right?
Yes.
So this one here, it went to our take profit. It took 6 hours. Cool. So then this one here, hold on. Any questions about that stuff, y'all too?
No, I understand.
Any questions about that, Namsu?
No questions, sir.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure so I'm not just, hold on. So the same thing, right? This one we said it should go down. So now this one is against us. So because of how me and Basile are going to set up the trade at the 1%, this wouldn't have hurt us. Well, we would not be in profit yet. So the 20 pips need to go this way, right? So it's going to be the 4 is the pip, Basile, right? One over to the right. So the 8 is the tens place, if you will, for what we need to do. So on a sell, we actually want the trade to go 20 pips lower. So we're going to go to 1.23641, right?
Right.
So this is exactly 20 pips. So in this trade, first, most people are not going to take all 3, right? Because you just had to take one trade for the 20 pips. So if you would have picked this pair, you would be negative right now. And you would be having to stay in a trade for it to come back. And you're not guaranteed it's going to come back, right? There's no guarantees. But for me and you, Sil, because we're betting 1% of the account, we got room to let it breathe. You know what I'm saying? But none of the 3 exactly hit the stuff that Coach Max talked about, so we didn't take any of the trades. So we would have been the safest because we would have missed this loss, potential loss, and we would have missed what I'm about to show you next. But I want you to see it that this is 2 o'clock. It went against us. And hold on. This is the hour chart. Let me take it. It's still the same stuff, but let me take it down to the 5 minute so you can see. Hold on. Hold on. That's how it looks a little more clearer. So now this is 240 on the 27th. We went 2 o'clock. We actually on 155 because this one is 2. So this is the spot where we would have, and at the same time, we wouldn't have, like I told Nomsu, we wouldn't have pressed the button exactly at 2 o'clock because it's 2 o'clock. We would have waited for the spot where the candle went under or over whatever which way direction, based off of Coach Max's
analysis.
An analysis, right? So it wasn't that it hit 2 o'clock. We just wasn't even looking to press the button for the spot until 2 o'clock because we wanted the Frankfurt banks to start working. So then at 2 o'clock, when we were waiting for it, we stayed until about 2:30. We were waiting for it to develop and then actually do what we needed it to do. And it didn't, so I stopped. Now the thing though, still, in our regular trading day, we would have already had the idea what we wanted to see happen because we would have looked at the charts based off what Coach Max teaches. Then if it didn't do it during the Frankfurt, at 3 o'clock, the London comes on. Okay. So what I told Nomsu as being understanding trading, whatever I took at 2 o'clock, I'm going to exit it before 3 o'clock. Because London can come in and make everything you thought you saw go different. So it was seeing could we find something at 2, and if we would have found it, we would have took it. But before 3, we would have got out and then reevaluated at 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now, it's like looking at Coach Max's strategy twice. For the Frankfurt Open, get out, look at it, and even if it continues, to get back in the trade because it may continue, but London may do something different. So then get out, and then so if we control our calendar. So 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. is the same to us. We just got to set our alarms. But if you had to choose between one, I would pick London because it's a more consistent conversation, right? Right. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the trade when I'm up trading at London. Get out with that. It can be 5 pips. Get out before London, then see what London does when it comes on, and see if it still hits the criteria. Because it's actually like is a trend line. So the diagonal ones I draw, right? We're waiting for it to break it. So we really can. She has a powerful phrase, and it's simple, but for me powerful. She said that she sits on her hands. So once she had her setup done, she says she sits on her hands until the chart does what it's supposed to do. Not try to make it do it, not try to get early, which is sometimes, the FOMO, trying to get it as much as you can get, right? So, so we never got to profit as of yet. I'm actually gonna leave this trade running for myself to see when it goes in. Well, I want to see does it go before 5 p.m. my time. So I'm just going to keep watching it. We're not. I'm gonna let it run. I'm just not. I told you now. So once I cut my computers on for Saturday night, Sunday morning, I leave them running all week long. So, but that's again me, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let a trade breathe, or like I'm doing here, I'll just watch it as it grows. So me in the charts is like watching a good TV show. All right, this one. And so this one is the EuroCAD. Let's change this to, oh, we don't got to right there. This is the EuroCAD, right? And we said it was supposed to go down. So let's first find 2 o'clock or 1:55 a.m. We gotta go back some more. That's that one. So let's do this one to 1:55. We might gotta go back some more candles. Okay, so Sil, and I no, yeah, this you this time, Sil. Can you see this number right here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sil. First, so if somebody else can't see the number, tell me the number you see, then tell me where to put the take profit for a sell, which means going down 20 pips. What number am I looking for?
If you got in at 532,
Yeah.
you're trying to get to 332.
Okay, perfect. So this is the thing. I'm gonna leave it there. The thing about a take profit is the computer, once you put the numbers in, it's gonna go to that spot. So we're just mapping it for ourselves. So now what I'm going to do, Shell, is this when we started, and this candle right here is where it breaks it, right?
Okay.
So let's say here, because it actually goes all the way under. So this was 5 hours and 15 minutes. And Namsu, as you can see, there would have been a season that we would have been negative up here.
Yeah.
Which back to, I wouldn't have cared, he wouldn't have cared because we only bet 1% of our account. We got room to let it breathe. So it came, we're right in the, oh, from here, we got in, no, we got in here. 155. Oh, yeah. So, Namsu, this is if we press the button exactly when it told us to, right? So on the way down, because we are looking for, funny enough, Sil. So if you're looking at this, you see this joint right here?
Right.
That's called a 50, it's called an exponential moving average, and it's set for 50. So really, outside of the trend lines,
Right.
one of the other things she looks for is it for the close under the 50, right? So if we would have, because this is under the 50. Yeah. So it would open. This is where we are now. Yeah. This is under the 50. This is over the 50. So at 2 o'clock it was under the 50. So that would have been cool enough to press the button. But we need the trend line, so it didn't do that. That's why we didn't go in the trade. But from here, you just kind of watching the trade. It looked like it's gonna go under the 50 here. Well, it's already under the 50, so I'll take that back. I don't want to confuse y'all. But I'm looking at that it really got under the 50 again here, but we would have been looking here. So still here, we would have got in. Oh, that's not, hold on. Why did I put it here? Because price isn't, I'm gonna take this back, y'all. You see right here? It looked like price was here at 2 o'clock. So if we would have pressed the button at 2 o'clock, price would have been more here. Hold on, let me zoom in. Just because we record, I want to be accurate. So at this moment in time, if we were getting in a trade, price would have been here. Because this would have closed, and if we pressed it as soon as 2 o'clock hit, which we wouldn't have, we would have got in right at this spot. So this is wrong. Now, see, we must have been looking at it around here where we would have got in. But the clock said, hold
on. Okay.
We want this to say 155 because this is 2 o'clock. So it would have closed here. We would have got in here still. So this one needs to go 20 under. If we would have pressed it at 2 o'clock. So we need
097.
yeah, exactly. Just to be fair. Now, the flyer thing is if we would have got in here, but I don't want to use that because that's not what the chart said at that time. Which is why that's why we're not getting in because of a time frame. We're getting in because of the 20 pip and dip system, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but to walk this point out, so as you know, Basil, when it comes to this stuff, I'm very analytical. So I'm expecting that I'm the one that's going to watch the video later on, and I would have called bullshit on this spot right here. It is true here, but that's not. We were set to see what was going to happen here, and because it never hit the 20 pip and dip system, it I don't want to count. One of the things you can do trading, you can put stuff where you want to make anything you say make sense. And I hope, we hold ourselves at a higher responsibility. So now it doesn't break it here, although if we would have got in here, it would have, but that's not the game. It would have broke it. Now I want to look at the other two to make sure that I'm being accurate. It would have broke it here. Now let me look in and see exactly. So now what I'm looking for, Nomsu, is I'm looking for which bar actually breaks it, right? Because sometimes, like you see how this one tapped down at it and come back. I've seen a take profit not actually take you out right here. So what I want to do is say this one right here is all the way under it. So that's 3:35 p.m. And that's 1:55 a.m. So what's that? 1:55 a.m. to 1:55 p.m. is 10 hours, 12 hours. And then I've been sleep that long? That seems weird. Hold on. It's been that long? Anyway, that's the actual chart. I want to look at the other two now. Give me a second and then we'll wrap up. So that would have been 20 pips. This one is still inside of, that's why we don't have a 50 on here. That's why I couldn't speak to that. Well, no, not really. I will need the 50. This, at the time of 2 o'clock, where it was priced. So hold on. I just want to get it accurate. So just give me a second, guys. So this is price right here. We would have clicked the button right there. So this candle right here, right?
Yeah.
Because it's blue, it opened at the top of the square and closed at the bottom of the square. If it was yellow, it would have opened at the bottom of the square and closed at the top of the square.
Yeah.
So this is the exact spot that price was if we were going to click the button at 2 o'clock, which we wouldn't have, right? So I want to make that clear. So now this is 20, this is 92. So now we need to go to 721. Just for people like myself that are analytical. All right, there you go. So now,
You can see why you didn't get in there.
huh?
I said still didn't hit the 20 pips, which is why you didn't get into it.
Right. I said still negative, but I want to be accurate in my analysis. But see, the thing though, Sil, is we will right now be having what's called unrealized losses. So until we close out of the trade, it's just time. So once, yeah. Now some people, when they trade, they have predetermined stop loss. So if you'd had a stop loss here, it would have took you out. You'd have lost the money. Then it would have brought you back. Some people don't put stop losses at all, and you can lose your whole account. So that's why the trading part requires your own risk assessment, right? I'm just explaining to you, Basil, that the reason why we only using 1% of our margin is so we can stand a swing against us, so we can come back. So sometimes, so that's that. Now based on what Coach Max is bringing to the table, right? She's giving us the process of not getting in a trade that's going to swing all the way back because you're waiting for a certain condition before you get into the trade. And until you see that condition, sit on your fucking hands, right? So, and now this is the part where, when you were talking about in your interview, this is the part where the person's mindset come in, because you can't, everybody's independent. They're their own bosses, so they can do whatever they want to do. They should do whatever they want to do. But let me look at the third one so I can make sure we're accurate. Oh, it was. That's what I'm tripping at. It's not fucking 2 p.m., 2 a.m. that time. See? Thank you. It was 6 a.m. that time. What time was it? It wasn't 1:55. I was using my time. I must be sleepy. All right. GMT. Let's look this way. I'm about to Google slow down. No. We're about to Google in front of it. Hold on. Nomsu, our picture is done.
Okay.
Hold on. We got it. Yeah, that's why. That's why accurate thinking is such a important thing to hold yourself responsible to. Let's do this. What is the current GMT? All right. It is 5:32 p.m., right? It is 1:32 p.m. our time.
Okay.
So they're 4 hours ahead, right? We were in the market at we were at 1:55 our time, so 5:55 their time. So let's do that again. So 5:55 their time, which is what this one is. This is exactly where price was. We're right on with this one. So this was already right. So let me go back to the other two. All right, so 1:55 needs to become 5:55. So this is what price was. This was the pound. We wanted it to go down. So this is the start of the bar. This is the end because it's an up candle. So now we got to go back. To there. So that is 429. So we wanted it to go down. Hold on. Now, so we might got a winner, brother.
All right.
This might be a winner. That's the time. 429 to that's 221, so that's even lower than 229. So this is a winner trade, Nomsu.
Okay.
So that's two of them. Now we need to go to 5:55. I wonder why it was so long. Remember I said that's like 12 hours. It's crazy. All right, let's get to the exact spot, right? And this was a going down candle too. So let's get this one accurate. It is. So this is a down candle right here. So this is the top, this is the bottom. So Sil, we probably would have took all three because we silly, right?
Right.
We would have set to do the 5, 10, 20 take profits, right? What I showed you. And now, so this is 533. So we need 333. This is 330, which is lower than 333. And it could have took us, oh no, we right out of there, dog. It's the exact jump. Nah, we was looking, I said, nah, shoot, this looks like it's about to go down, right?
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about it. And so this one, it would have done it here. So by this time, we would have been out the trade. So this one here would have got us out, and we would have been in the trade for a little less than 2 hours. Well, little more than an hour, I guess, hour and a half. But it would have took us into the London, so I wouldn't have been in. It would have took us into the London. So I would have sat on it. Well, not, yeah. If I'm in the trade, I'm in it. I'm not going. So if I'm losing, so I'll stay in and I'm going to stand the storm. If I'm winning, I'm going to get out. So but don't let this be for you or anybody else. I'm just explaining how I see it. So, but again, I bet 1% of my margin, so I'm never in the trade heavy.
Okay.
So people that's friends that want me to bet bigger so we can go faster, but I'm a banker trading, not a producer trading. I'm not chasing a profit. I'm trying to make sure I mitigate the potential loss. So just to finish these up, we would have got in at 5:55, agreed, like the GMT time, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then this would have been our take profit. We hit it. So I don't want to count these two because I've seen it not take you out, although this might be a lot. Yeah. If it's, I want to say it would have, but I don't want to bet on that it would have, right? I'm always making sure that I keep us safe from the cheat sale. So although this should have took us out, I want to say this is the one that would have took us out. Is that fair?
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one we would have been in about 3 hours in the trade. Because this was a sell trade as well. And this was a buy trade. Now when Fat see this, because he counts our pips, and he counts us at the 20 or 35 if it's our play, he's going to see that we didn't take the trade, and we just showed 70 pips on them two. So now let's get 55. Be clear on that. And we clear. So although this would have took us out, right? Which is why I put the line there. That wick definitely would have took us out. Just to be fair to what we were saying, we're going to give ourselves 5 more minutes into the trade. So this one definitely would have took us out. So we got about 6 hours into this trade. But all 3 of them hit the 20. So that's a 60 pip day. So for us, it probably would have been a 100 pip day, right?
Right.
But for anybody trading, if they would have just took any of the one and waited for the actual signal to come, they would have got a 20 pip. They would have took 20 pips and dipped. So Nomsu, you said you had a question about the concept. The way to get to the 20 pips is keep watching the video, right?
Yeah, I understand.
And this is hopefully an explanation of it as well. But the thought process of it is to take one trade, let it get to 20 pips as a take profit, and stop trading for that day. And then build your whole wealth strategy off of getting 20 pips every day.
Okay.
And if you have questions from that perspective, we've been making ourselves available. Now, this is your first time talking since you actually chose to get started. I know Basil was instrumental to getting your stuff done, but I know you also haven't talked. So, now, Basil, what do you think or feel about what you've seen us do in network marketing before, and what Nomsu has in front of us? And then I want to switch it back to Nomsu.
Hey, Nomsu, nice to speak with you and see with you again. From what I've gathered here and seen, as you know, it's a very simple system, very easy to learn and follow. And, I've learned, systems to trade, and I feel as though it's very duplicable. And I'm excited. I know people should be eager and excited to join on and get on board with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice talking to you once again too, Basil.
Sure.
All right, so Nomsu, I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to kick you off. Me and Sil got a little bit of other stuff to do with our other business stuff. This is he and I are in two different places, like you would just like us. You are. So we got to do Zooms for whenever I want to talk to him face to face too. So
okay.
I just wanted to record this because I actually thought the pound dollar was a loss, but I didn't chart it. So I wanted to just finish up our thought from last night, let you see what it actually did. So we didn't waste the time. The hour we prepped to look through the trades was a very valuable use of time based on what we see today, right?
Yeah. All right. Yes, sir.
All right. So, friend, I'm gonna send this one over. The first we did last night is already on the YouTube channel. This is about to go over there. If not, while me and Basil are talking, right afterwards. I wish you all luck, friend. The rest of it is up to you. You just gotta get to it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Be well.
All right. You too.